Hello everybody, how you doing? Bit late. Was checking my internet connection. It should be okay now. I hope it is. Yeah. So should stabilize. So who is here already? There's a few people. INM. Got some things to check in the Discord, okay? Hi Oli, nice to see you. Janie, J Mark, Naiwa, nice. Cyril, Caesar, hello everybody. Nice to see you all. Hope you are doing okay. Hope for the one I didn't saw since last week that you have not been too much urged by this Bitcoin drop and of course Luna failure. I know such thing can be really painful. I've been there. Many of the who have been in crypto for more than I mean, who have been there in 2017, 18. I've been there, but that was a spectacular one. I got to admit. Everything went like a lot quicker than I was expecting. First fire, Maggie, hello. No more French beer. I mean, we'll see. Of course, we'll always keep several scenarios in mind. And we got to, to keep an idea of how this could develop if we really are starting a longer, bigger bear market. But my feeling is that we are pretty close to a bottom. Maybe not in, but pretty close to. So I'm gonna start with a higher time frame. Like always, I'm gonna recap a bit the mid-time frame scenarios. We'll dive a bit more into the lower time frame. We got a few data to look at that support the idea of the data that all the data that make me choose between one or another Elliott wave scenario, and that for me supports the idea of a bottom being building. And maybe we'll check after a few other chart, stock market especially, and other thing if you want to ask me. So yeah, someone said that. Just gonna keep that in mind. NM, which shared a chart in the public Discord, public Bitcoin TA. I guess so. But you don't have the same. To shock morning, I've posted in Discord public Bitcoin TA. Okay. Nobato, I guess that's you. I will keep that open for later. And we'll get a look at it after. Oops. There we go. Keep that in mind. So, let's start with the higher time frame. Just a simple chart that I shared on Twitter, by the way. Maybe not exactly that one, but yeah, that's the idea. Or maybe I can have the log growth curve on that or not, we'll see after. So yeah, bigger time frame count, that's where I'm going, which is what I'm going personally. I've talked several times about it, but I'm saying a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, making our first wave. The first wave in Elliott wave being the early adopters, the early investors, which I believe were anyone who has been buying Bitcoin in that time. Wave 2 being when everybody thinks all the uptrend gonna retrace, and that was a fail trend. That's when a lot of articles started to talk about Bitcoin dying. Wave 3 being the strongest, I mean, where most of the people come in. And that's when Bitcoin really started to get worldwide known. So worldwide adoption. So that's also why I'm thinking to make it a good wave 3 here. And we are looking to finish this wave 5, which I simply pull a Bitcoin log growth curve, an indicator you can take on training view. And we're finding a bit of confluence here about 200k. We'll see, this is a bit early, but that's where I think Bitcoin is going. And I've been looking at this as a wave 3 internally of this bigger wave 5. So nothing really surprising. I've been saying a long time, I mean, I was in doubt, but I didn't really felt bottom was in when we were in this consolidation. And I wanted to see us take the lows to find liquidity. Now you see we are retesting what this is to anchor VWAP in green. So it's a moving average weighted with volume. Here on a aggregated spot chart, the anchor VWAP will be really different depending on what exchange you use, obviously. And that's really where we are retesting, the orange one being just a simple 200 exponential and simple moving average, the higher one being the exponential, right? And this is really the ultimate support in a quote in any market, which trend in an uptrend, a weekly 200 moving average. I mean, everybody knows that, but sometimes you don't need to look for more complicated things than you need. And really, we are reaching where we want to see the strong bulls defend this area. And it's good to see we're reaching this area in some capitulation sentiment and really extreme fear. Now is fear gonna maybe bounce back to hope if the week closed that way. But that's really, yeah, encouraging to me. And I pulled this channel because it is a way to find to get a potential target for wave 4. It's just to pull a channel between, so you link wave 3 and 1 and just project it from wave 2, and you got a potential bottom for your wave 4. So maybe here would be better. I mean, this is just where we test it. So yeah, here I'm not sure because there is several ways you can count this part, and it could be a flat, meaning that the top of wave 3 could be here, and the higher high will be just B wave of flat. Or we could just don't mind and take the higher point. Anyway, it is a general area we are looking at, not necessarily extra precisely, especially where we are looking at this on a log scale. On a log scale, can be a bit iffy, but you see, it got the harmony we are looking at. Length time wave 4 tech is quite a bit longer than wave 2, but it's still comparable. And overall, if you just, I mean, if you draw this, you see it makes sense that there is relation between this in terms of time between each of these waves. It looked good. That's what you want when you do Elliott wave. You look for also visual harmony. A lot of comments, a lot of people today. So, yeah, hi everybody. Nice. Someone looking for 12k. I mean, not impossible, but I wouldn't bet on this. One thing, just to comment this, there is one invalidation for this to be a wave 4. It can come lower. It could be done here. We'll see that in a minute, what looks the most probable. But the invalidation is the top of wave 1. It cannot go below the top of wave 1 or it will not be a wave 4 anymore. It can be many other things. It doesn't mean it will have to go only down. We could maybe look at wave 1, 2. I don't know, or we could be looking at this to be finished with a small wave 5. But if that's happened, I mean 12k, why not? But I will be looking here. I will be looking at 9k if we were really looking to go down, and if it happened, I mean, for me, it would probably mean that wave 5 is in, so the macro wave 5, so it would mean like maybe way longer bear market, and yeah. So I wouldn't like to see Bitcoin go below 20k. Now, my internet is a bit iffy right now. Not sure. Okay. Sorry, I'm back. I was saying my VPN going crazy low. Change the server. It should be, yeah, connection is green. It's way better. So, how do we look at this wave 4? Hope you're not too tired of me repeating the same scenario over and over again. And I mean, it's a public stream, so I'm gonna recap again the several scenario I'm looking at. This is going here. Okay. So we have scenario 1 is invalidated. That is mid-timeframe. That's not one. Scenario 1 here. It's scenario 1, but it's not necessarily my favorite. It just appeared to be one here. So for most of the scenario, I mean all of them, yeah, we are looking at an ABC here, or WXY, but at an expanded flat correction. So expanded flat because wave B is higher than the origin of wave A, and wave C is going past the end of wave A. So expanding flat, running flat if it has stopped above wave A. This has reached its final target already. Yeah, I mean, I made the maximum for that one. Daily, it's way a bit, might be better than wave 1. Yeah, so it already reached, yeah, its maximum target for wave 5, or at least what we should expect as maximum target. doesn't mean we can do like a, you know, a small lower low and it will be the end, because it is a high time frame target, and sometimes you can have intraday trading a bit below and it come back above. A fib target you want, it's always better when it is the target is being tagged perfectly to the tick. But for me, the way I do Elliott 12, I'm looking for at least a close above it, so a week that test it and come back above if it go a bit below. Anyway, this is a correct one, potentially saying we could have a low already in. All we need is to be able to count 5 waves in this move down that is finished with the 5th here. So we'll zoom in a bit after. Alternatively, there's one I like a bit, pretty much a lot. So similar idea, but we are looking at ending diagonal for the wave C. So in this particular scenario, we have 2 possibilities, as this first wave could be counted as a zigzag ABC, a particularity of diagonal where the impulsive move can be divided in zigzag. Is that the case, that will need that we will need to count zigzag here as well. But you know, it might be counted as 5 waves as well. Both are correct. There is no, I know not one that is cleaner than the other. That is really best. So I'm going with the idea both are valid. So it means that we need to count 5 waves for 3 and 5 waves for 5 if that's okay. If it is 5 waves or 2 zigzag. Potentially we'll have a bottom here for wave 3. Could it go a bit lower? I mean, yes. What we need is really to have converging trend lines. You see if I can still be converging. And wave 3 need to be smaller than wave 1, and wave 5 need to be smaller than wave 3, which we anyway have a lot of room for because we have a lot of price movement here. And if I take the 1-1 extension here, you see that for wave 3 to be longer, it will need to come to 11k. So yeah, this is pretty good idea in my mind because it allows to get a nice bounce consolidation. You know, wave 4 could also come a bit higher, but you know, this weekly level is a decent resistance in my opinion, and it allows to get another sweep of this low, going to test a bit lower levels. And the 5th wave of the ending diagonal could be itself an ending diagonal, making several lower lows, overlapping waves to finish something a bit complicated. I mean, it's such place, it's kind of common to see complicated counts to finish the correction, because if it's too obvious, it's too easy, you know? Jenny asking a question about ending diagonal. Wave 4, you propose there doesn't overlap with the end of wave 1. Should it overlap according to the rule? Yeah, yes, you're right. It should overlap. So a bit higher than a weekly level. And it will overlap. We don't want it to go too high because it would shape as a channel rather than a diagonal. We want it to have the shape of a wedge, bit, you know. It's a pretty good idea in my opinion. The third one, maybe the one I prefer, is a WXY, so also running flat, but as a WXY. So the difference with the ABC is that each of the sub-wave are corrective. So either ABC, either WXY, WXYXZ. It can be a triangle, can be sideways, can be many things. But yeah, we have the potential for an ABC move here. Saying, looking for the 1-1 target here. That will reach this naked POC, high volume node. I think it could come a bit lower. This is on a log scale for the 1-1. Could add a 0.618 on the linear, we're already on it. Knowing that 1-1 100% extension is generally what we look for. Again, it's not necessarily going to be precisely here. I like that idea because it allows us to have a bit more lower lows, and I would like this to finish the internal count on the last move. So in this idea, we are looking as well at 5 waves to finish this move, because it is a wave C of wave Y. Let's check, maybe I didn't pull that. The Fib extension tool. For the Y, something I should have done. Yeah, 120, 1272, 1414. Channel ID, pretty good. On linear, yeah, could be nice. So 1-1 is here, 127. Yeah, we have a bit of confluence on here. Something that seems right to me. Let's keep that in it. What other alternative do we have? WXY, I think I made everything. That's most of what I'm seeing. Well, we could still extend this if we really want to go to the 20k maybe. I mean, I could see 17k, but yeah, I mean, we could have an ABC here, so a W, this will become an X, and we could have an A, B, C, you know. But I don't really want to see us go too close to the 20k, because for the good bottom, you want to front run a bit of people. So if we were to really retest 20k, the past all-time high, I will be a bit more prudent. Will depend how it happened, but you know, I would prefer us to stop higher. So yeah, 23k, even mem here, even here. Anyway, that's the height. So the bear scenario. Talk about the bear scenario. Bear scenario. Well, we are looking at. We just take Fib extension tool again. Take this. Complete. And what do we have? If we are bearish, we could have an ABC still. Deeper one, which could be just the first part of a bigger correction. Or really, if we're bearish, we should expect a wave 3. So potentially, yeah, targeting 14k or the 261.8 on linear, the 161.8 will already be negative, so we got to use log anyway on this. So yeah, if we are bearish, I will see we still need to kind of need. I will still expect to finish 5 waves here, or at least 5 waves here, which will mean we'll have a 1 2, a 1 2, 3 4 5, 3 4 5. You know, we'll accelerate a bit, or a complete 1 2 and 3 4 5, etc. Got the idea. But in that case, we will see even more capitulation. We'll need a really very big bearish news to get at, or very big capitulation on stock market maybe. I don't say it's impossible, it's just I'm not feeling it at all. But that's how I will see it if it was bearish. It have to be bearish. 12k incoming, 12k not yet. Okay. 20k first, of course. Finished a little late, but I'm here, good. 22.5 for you. Yeah, seems about right. So here I put a few potential level. As usually you start on the monthly to see if you get a monthly level. But on this rise there was not much. You could take the bottom, but it doesn't really make sense to me. Then weekly, we don't really have a weekly level. Well, we have a nice order block here. Could have put that one. That's where we are. Finding support right now. In fact, we see we have a wick above and below, so it's a consolidation. I hope the music is a bit loud on me. And then I pulled what? Well, just high volume node. So high volume node of this whole rise is down here at 19k. We have a few fair value gap. So there was a bit of trading here. It's not non-volume like here, but I think it's 0 here, right? Yeah, there's really 0. But you see there's no red because there's just no sells. No market sell order. So it's a bit like a fair value gap inefficiency. In fact, like we can probably see on CMR here, it's 19 to 2500. And if I look at the CME chart, CME, where it is here. CME chart. Don't need all of this right now. It's our breakaway gap. And it's a bit higher. Maybe it was a premium. No, sometimes they don't have exactly the same price. In fact, they generally don't have the same price. As you can see, it's 30,250. Maybe it's closed right now. Yeah, maybe it's because it's closed. Anyway, usually have a difference between spot markets and futures, especially CME. So we have a fair value breakaway gap, continuation gap here. Have been retested at least the top. On a runaway gap that we have been retesting here. So the breakaway gap align more or less with the, no, it doesn't. That's a higher one. Anyway, that's a few level we can keep in mind, especially the high volume node. But you know, it's when we get here, we have long weeks. The level don't always react perfectly because it's depends on the liquidity, and in fact, you will have different price between different exchanges, especially between derivative and spot because there is liquidation and stuff. But even during this kind of capitulation, you see different price between Bytestamp, Coinbase, FTX, Bitfinex, obviously. We'll talk about Bitfinex a bit later. So let's keep going. Now we're gonna zoom in a bit more. And how do we count this downtrend? So I went with several ideas. I've been a bit in between, especially because of this consolidation here, which is overlapping and doesn't have a very clear pattern, but I made a decision to say we have a leading diagonal here to start. Where it is. For me, we have a leading diagonal. And yeah, so it's a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's not the prettiest, but it respects the rules. And so I went with the idea that we have finished our first wave here, because at some point I was looking at a 1, 2, 3, 4, and this as a fifth. But you see how we got a long consolidation here and a really quick consolidation correction, really quick here. So for me, it makes more sense to take the longer correction as this bigger wave 2, because otherwise that means we'll have a wave 1 and a little 2, 3. So here we retest a good level for wave 2. Good level 382. It's already a shallow wave 2, but it's a good one still. And we can fit 5 waves into that move. 1, 2. Here we have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 3, 4, 5. Wave 3 is a bit short, but it's okay. Keep going. So I'm going with that count as my main one. Now this can be a 1, 2, 3 or an A, B, C. Usually we pull our fib, we look at the target, and when we go beyond the 161.8, we assume that it's more likely a wave 3 rather than a wave C. Wave C shouldn't go much past 161.8. But I'm not excluding it because it happened in Bitcoin. It happened in Bitcoin that wave C go toward 261.8, especially when we are into liquidation, capitulation event. Don't exclude it. That's why we may have several lower lows, but it's not necessary. So I went yesterday into diving into the lower time frame count. I'm not gonna explain more. I did for the crew, but I'm pretty happy with what I'm counting here. And so we are overall reaching what feel a good wave 3 for the little Roman number orange here. Yeah, we went to 618 beyond, but 261.8 on a linear with quite precision. So I always flip between linear and log. Because yeah, we want to see what looks the best. And you see, you saw that sometime you just cannot on linear when you want such deep price action, because if you do, you're just going into negative target, which makes absolutely no sense. So in that idea here, you see I pulled the fib just for an idea where we could be looking for wave 4. So we have this weekly level, or the 50% bit higher, which is an out block retest of the previous range. Oh, this is correct. Still developing. I believe we are in a wave 4. When the first wave will finish, I don't know. We can be doing something like this, you know. Or maybe it is finished already, about to be finished. We'll try to look at this at the end of the stream on the really low time frame if I can see something. Let me take the comment a bit. Is there something new? How do I rate the chances of the low being here? I will say it's possible. I would prefer a bit more consolidation, a slower consolidation down, and see this fearful sentiment really strongly. I know that if we do another lower low, we'll start to see a more bearish chart, because people were really bearish during this last capitulation, because we have acceleration and the Luna event, and people even started to get crazy about Tether as well, as usual. But now, if you look at the weekly chart, it looks pretty good, you know. A bit too good. So I would like to see at least a few more sweep of the low with lower volume as well, because usually you want to see a lower volume, high volume but lower volume price action on the fifth wave. So here we are getting our highest volume at the end of the move. I mean, locally you can see there is higher volume, a bit higher, but overall on a daily chart, on weekly chart, the highest volume is really at the end. And yeah, even between what could be a wave 3 and a wave 5, then the highest volume is in wave 5. Usually you want the highest volume on the wave 3 and a bit lower volume on the wave 5 with divergence. Now we have nice divergence on 4 hour, on 12 hour, and it is capitulation. So we could say, I mean, it's, yeah, say it's possible. 50-50. It's depends how we close. If we really close the week like above its open, so the open of the week is 34k, I think. If we were to close above here, so really on Sunday, not necessarily today, but on Sunday on spot exchange. Usually I like to have the close, the movement happening on weekday because of the future market that is closed on weekend. But yeah, if I were to see a close above that level on Sunday, I'll say okay, then it's really strong. Weekly level already being quite important for me for this week. So for me, it will increase the chances that the low is in already if we close Sunday above these two levels. its level increasing a bit more. Now you can still talk about a bit alternative count on the mid time frame. I talk about the main one. So the main one saying that we have still a fifth here. So this could really be the fifth here. We are looking at the third here. But overall, we look at the nice target on a flip extension tool. So yeah, the 261.8 level is just sweeping that low. That's something I would like to see. And then a bigger, longer bounce again. We're testing again at weekly level. Maybe that weekly level gonna be the key one, you know. And especially we'll look at this on from a Wyckoff point of view. It makes sense. And then again, so a bounce that give a bit more hope, give hope again, that is a bit longer. And then the last sweep of the low happening during the summer. You know, this could extend as well, extend in time. When you want to see a nice reaccumulation, it could take some time. And if it happens over the summer when everybody is on a holiday and fed up with all of this and just put his stop loss below the last low and go out, and then the sneaky market maker is gonna sweep the last ones and go further in. So here another one, what is that one? Is it the same ID? Same ID is just saying that we could have higher degree versus 3 already. There is no sub count anyway in this. I think this is the ones. Yeah. Let me recover here. So yeah, here the idea is, instead of a diagonal, we'll have a 1 2 1 2 1 2, small 3, extended 5, 4, and extended 5. The target are still pretty good, I believe. A bit extended, but it's good. Linear, way a bit more precise on this. Wave 1 2, just checking the target if that makes sense. 400% at a really big 3. Yeah, okay. So yeah, that's the idea of no, it's for that one. So it's, yeah, that could still be an ABC, or it means a 3 coming here. So it just show a bit that would be the count that take us a bit lower, because this will still be only wave 3 and wave 4 and wave 5. Still the possibility we come lower. So if you trade this, then you will see confluence anywhere each step. And personally, I'm looking for long in this and just taking profit, because I know there's an alternative count that say we could get another lower low. So you're taking profit on the way, and if you get swept, then you can position even bigger. Partial profit, of course, and if that's the one that is already finished, then you're positioned for the move up. This is ABC potentially finished on this one. So tighter count, it's a valid one. That's the one that say we could be in a low already. Yeah, it's an ABC. So that's the alternative. Well, I'm gonna add a bit more complexity here. So you see, we go past 161.8. But that's where I could see this as an ABC, and if you are able to make the link with the higher time frame count, when that will work well for the ending diagonal, because for the ending diagonal we don't want to go much lower. But you see, you get confluence again, that you're still looking at a wave 4, not necessarily the same degree. It's a higher degree wave 4 rather than the small time frame count, which is so before. But we are still looking at a fifth then. And it can also work with a WXY more complex, where we get a big bounce and then another one. I'm not really feeling that. I would extend on this if we are getting this bigger bounce. But yeah, that's how we could be either finished, either going for the ending diagonal. Because the first one I say I like. This counts work better for the WXY scenario, because here we're really looking at 5 waves for sure and a lower one. While the ending diagonal, it would mean that this wave 3 will finish way lower. And it would mean that wave 4 still need to overlap wave 1, so it will start to look not wedgy anymore. So I could have linked this sub count with the higher count anyway. So that's the ID for the WXY. We saw the ID for ending diagonal. There is alternative, everything says the same thing. This is ugly. I'm gonna put this in the invalid one for now. So yeah, here we go. We have this. Now, do you follow everything? Am I clear? Is this helpful that I go over so much scenario? At the end of the day, there is mainly 2 on each time frame, so I think it's pretty good. And I will go after on more interesting data to try to get more precision. Ronek on 11 November B24, okay, A11 of November. Which year? B24 of January, C29 of March, perfect 0.618 of the fib extension. So you are talking about like wave A, B, C like this, I suppose. I don't really see how this link to anything else. No. That's not what you meant. Oh no, you mean that way. Okay, sorry. Yeah, 0.618, that's where we are right now, yeah. On linear. Sorry. Yeah, start of 8. Got you. Yes, of course. That's, yeah. That work. For the WXY, it could work. Need to be able to count 5 waves in this. It's not impossible. We saw 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 potentially. But I would prefer to target a log 1 extension a bit lower to finish a cleaner 5. That's all I'm looking for. Or either the 3 finish here, or we have, you know, just a smaller 3 finished here, so slightly low coming over the weekend maybe. 4 and 5. I would prefer to see something like this. I mean, like this, but it could be. You're right. It could be. I'm not denying it. Is this YouTube public? Don't get why there is not many viewer. Yes, it is public. I mean, there's 24 people. It's average. Usually 29 at max. Relatively stable. Yeah, usually I get more viewer after it's finished, not live. I maybe need to find a way to expand my I'm not finding my word. It's not complicated. Even in French. Whatever. I appreciate you are all here watching live and asking questions or giving your opinions. 24/6 saying Keshab, I don't know. 24/6, 24/6. Yeah, okay, for the maybe the target for the smaller wave 3. Or even the target for the whole wave move, the whole move down. So here we'll be looking at what this is late. I got the 161.8 here for potential target for this fifth, which will be for me the wave 3 for my fabric. It makes sense at least to take that low at some point. I mean, if we really are into a spring, yeah, if this close here and you want to buy the next retrace because it could just fly. I think I talk about every count, so I'm gonna say why it could fly. Just taking the question. So is this an expanded flat? Yeah, exactly. It is an expanded flat. That's what I'm saying. Yes, thank you, Jenny. You can smash the likes, leave a comment. Leave a comment on the, not just on the chat, but on the comment side. It helps the algorithm. And subscribe if you didn't already, of course. So why could this fly? Well, I don't have the fractal here. But you know, I need a clean shot to show you this. I know I'm gonna, okay, take SPX and try to remember where it was. No, it was Nasdaq. On Nasdaq we saw such thing. Which one was it? Sorry. I'm not sure. This is a complete one? No. Maybe it was monthly. There was a fractal really similar to Bitcoin with a running with a flat that just took the low. It took the low that we just made right now. And you know, if you close above here, you got quite a powerful expanded flat. So you take the low here, and this gives you the liquidity you need to just go for your run. So surely, just looking at this high time frame like this, it could be already closing above. Previous low is already good, so you know, I said the weekly level. Let me get on this. I say For me, I'm asking it. I'm asking for more strength, but it is already quite good. We cannot say the contrary. We have a rise of like about 20% from the low in one day. Imagine 20%. BTC may want to take out the high pivot 32k problem with the bearish div. I wouldn't look at bearish div at all from here, honestly. It just makes no sense. I don't know on what time frame. We have bearish div here on 4 hour. Okay, yeah, I mean, yeah, if you want, but where you are coming from oversold territory like this, you will always have bearish div on the other side as you rise. Always. Every time. And here you have bullish div and you have... No, you don't have. You have bearish div here. You see? Even on a higher temporal. I mean, almost always you have bearish div on the other side. It doesn't make it less strong. On a 4 bullish div is from oversold is a strong thing. There is simple stuff. You know, I'm using really simple stuff. Elliott wave is a bit more complex, especially when you add so much potential scenarios. But taking an RSI on a 4 daily, weekly, stochastic, taking from oversold bullish div, taking the exponential and simple moving average, the 21, 50, 100, 200, and several time frame, you always get really simple and nice stuff, even in 4 hour. You see how when we lose it, we tested it, it go down. Why is my screen wanting to go sleep now? 12 hour, 200 moving average. The most simple technical stuff you can. I mean, that's the first stuff I learned with the 200 moving average, and you see it still works quite nicely. You lose it, you're going back, and you retest it. The most simple stuff. 12 hour bullish div, and you get 20%. I mean, when your bullish div is confirmed, you're already midway, but you got the point. I hope. Okay, Ronex, you are suggesting me again something else. I'm not gonna read everything. You can send a chart, either in private or anywhere on the Discord, and I can look at it, but I had to try to read how to make something. But I gladly look at charts. By the way, we have charts to look at. Yeah, let's take a look quickly at this now that we talk about the Elliott wave counts. So, yeah, harmonic pattern. Target of 76. There's a lot of things on the chart, but a bit too many levels to find what there is. There is a pitchfork here, I believe, or no, or just a fib channel. This is a 0.618 of this to this. We'll find The thing is, there's a bit too much level here. You will always find confluences because there is confluence at each levels. Everywhere. So it doesn't should be a bit cleaner about overall the idea of a bat like this. I approve. And in fact, here you're making something that make me think about an interesting potential scenario I was thinking about. It's just taking these two highs. I thought there was more room on this. Oh, because I'm linear. No, not so much. You have this or taking even this. It depends. Okay, where is your target here? Again. 74. Just as that, what I'm thinking about is a potential for a top here. Is there really a cycle top that will make a triple top? That would have make more sense if we didn't take that low, but potentially also the top of wave 1 of 5 and have a significant top consolidation before running higher. It will be an interesting target for sure. Just confluence for me with this trend line, simple trend line. I'm sure we can find a few other confluences of fib level, maybe what will be higher, probably. So maybe the 23.6 here as well. Anyway, yeah. I like CFT of this harmonic, and I think it could be a significant swing high, but we'll have to see how this developed, because we could see either, if we are right, if I am right, anyway, where is this finished, but either way going for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then the 2 and going for the 3 of the higher degree 5. But often one we see on runs is more 1, 2 and a smaller degree 1, 2 and a smaller degree 1, 2, and then we go in a 3, 4, 3, 4, and it go really it accelerates, you know. Usually that's what we see when we go and we run, like a 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, and 3, 3, 3. Accelerate, just like this. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, and all of this is wave 3 of smaller degrees. I lost the command. Where it is? Yeah, there it is. Yeah, I think the high is in. SPX as the expanded flat. Yes, I'm gonna talk about SPX. Luna trading on Binance. Long trapped. SPX 2018 was a fractal I was looking for, apparently. The 2000 Yes, 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 exactly. It was indeed a monthly chart, I guess. Or at least a monthly one. But yes, that's a bit what we are looking at. You know, that last flash. But you see, also, we did made a swing failure pattern of the low, get a nice reaction, and we take this slow again, the early ones. Because what is really convenient with such things for the ones that are looking for liquidity is by sorry, I'm flipping a bit too much chart here, but after I'm going to go on the other things. But when you get such a bullish, when you build such a bullish chart here, and you make a nice close like this, what you also do is you get an invalidation that is 15% away from where we are. And so on Monday, when people wake up and say, wow, this weekly looks so bullish now, I'll capitulate when we lost 30k and now it looks so good, maybe it will go down again. So okay, I'm going long, and I put my, I'll buy, and I put my stop below the low, and then you lose 15%, and if you try to make leverage, you lost everything. So you, by building a really bullish chart and just sweeping the low a bit more, you can find a lot of liquidity for a big player. That's what you are looking for. It's liquidity. And this is already the case. By sweeping this low, you find liquidity. But by sweeping the low that sweeps the low, you find a bit more liquidity. And you, yeah, you play with people's emotion like this. And after, so that's why we have to be prudent. But you see how it could be here. We have this almost perfect touch of the channel, which can be perfect if we take another high. Not perfect. Let's sweat it. Bonjour, Van. Massive head and shoulders. SFP, SFP, the SFP, yeah. Exactly. GBTC Prime still didn't pick up. Right. Good things to you. Let's shift on this. So yeah, there is that. There is some bearish argument. Definitely. We have a new all-time low for the price of GBTC compared to its holding of bitcoins. Of Bitcoin. There's no S. Could be capitulation as well. Let's see how this develop. And there is a thing that I'm just gonna be honest, right? You see, we are at the top of wave 1 here. So if we even make a, what was the top? High 1740, and what is the low? Come on. 1748. So if we made a slighter lower low here, we invalidate the 1, 2, 3, 4 on this chart. That is that. That is that. Is it because because it's invalidated on the GBT chart? It cannot be on the spot chart. I would not say that. And in fact, I didn't really work on the counts here on GBTC. I'm not even sure it respects Elliott wave as much as Bitcoin does. You see, we didn't make the low the same time here, because it was also trading at a discount and premium after. What will be the most important for me is to see it rise for sure when it will rise. in kind of a capitulation event. I'm still okay with the fact it keep its negative premium like this. If we are building a range of reaccumulation, I would like to see it rise slowly, you know. And when we start to go up, I want it to go up as well. That would be a nice show of strength. That's how I could see things. But of course, it would be better if this was not trading at such a discount. Now maybe this will flip in a day. Imagine if the SEC gives the authorize the flip of GBTC shares into a or GBTC found into an ETF, a spot ETF. That's what they have been asking for a long time, and they are actively working on it, discussing with the SEC, even pursuing them into court, because the SEC have been allowing derivative ETF or ETF based on CME on contracts, but not based on spots, and for them it's not legitimate. So anyway, maybe they will get approved. Maybe they will be the first ones to get a spot ETF, and then if it get announced on one day, you can see this thing fly back to neutral, or even rise above one day or a few days. I mean, we saw what can happen with Luna this week. A top 10 crypto can become a delisted zero value crypto in 2 days. So this can flip really quick as well. Now let's talk about the most bullish things I got on my chart. And it is obviously magic spreads. That have been one of the key elements for me to ignore the daily one, the daily on the small one. That have been one of the key data I wanted to see to start look for a feel for a bottom. Something I didn't saw here clearly. And magic spread turned massively green. We print two massive buy signal here on a daily, on a 4 hour. We had at some point, I think it was $1,000 premium if we really go into low time frame. 122. So there have been massive buys on Bitfinex, and that's not something you want to counter trades. Usually we want to follow what they do. Selling, it's mostly selling at the top, and I've not saw this kind of premium since this was probably just an exchange glitch since the bottom here in 2018. Well, there was a huge premium in this trap. This was a really good trap. If you were trading on Twitter during that time, you know that a lot of people have been watching this rise and asking what's happening. It have been fueling also all the Tether USDT nightmare flash, because this bumped on Bitfinex and all the USDT pair. In fact, we can see it as well on the Tether magic spread here. It was to break a trend line, a triangle, and yeah, even me, it was like, yeah, bullish on this and say, okay, we are going nice, and then close back down. So that was price manipulation. Is a price manipulation to fill a big short position on another exchange or on derivative. You know, you use spot exchange to pump the price. to squeeze the short on BitMEX, and you fill your short into the liquidation or into the FOMO, and then you sell back what you buy. So you may made a loss on spot on this trading operation, but you fill a big short position, and then you continue the downtrend. And yeah, that's where we saw a big price premium that was in this period, and when we broke the 6K again. So I'm pretty happy to see this, and it is linked to a huge increase in margin long, spot long. So it is not derivative, it's not paper Bitcoin, it is Bitcoin that are being bought, that are being loaned on the Bitfinex marketplace. We have 45,000 Bitcoin that have been bought since this little consolidation we had here, and we are at a all-time high on this loan Bitcoin at 87,000 Bitcoin. It's just huge. Now, can this be bearish as well? Because you say, okay, so much Bitcoin have been bought, especially during this last drop, but it's all been bought on loan and for very expensive. I mean, if you look on Tether APR, the return, you can loan Tether and Bitcoin on Bitfinex for return, and the yield change depending of demand and supply. And right now you can gain like 50% a year. It's the APR of the day. It's a 50% for loaning Tether, borrowing loan. Yeah, that's the right word, right? Anyway, so there's a lot of money that is being borrowed to buy Bitcoin. Could say it's a bit iffy, because if it's being borrowed, people that are buying here may be in a difficult place if this continues, but at the same time you are not borrowing $2 billion US worth of Bitcoin and stuff if you don't know what you're doing. I mean, with what happened with Luna, it's debatable, but yeah. I've been following Finex for a while. I'm on the side, and I prefer to trade along them rather than against them. But sometimes they fail. Here you see that huge increase in long that just fail and be sold at a loss during the COVID crash. Fail up. Yeah, at a loss, because most of it have been borrowed up here, sold during the slowdown. So there is not only successful trader on Bitfinex, but so much from it. I believe they know what they're doing. Most of the historic whales, a lot of the historic whales trade on Bitfinex. So they are the Bitcoin bulls that are here to defend the market. Mid-June is the deadline for the authorities to respond to the ETF case. So we'll see. Yeah, if that's gone. Luna is up 5 times today. Aha. Bitfinex buys can be the H. H to what? This is not an edge. I mean, I don't like to talk like this. I don't think this is an edge. This is just, it's just been buying, absorbing, buying. They accumulate. You can see this on, sorry, I went here a bit quick, but on the graphical order book, you can see they've been showing what they do, absorbing, showing their bids. There are true bids. You can check on Bitfinex code wallet on bidinfocharts.com. The code wallet is being filled with Bitcoin. Nonetheless, here. We went from 195 to 228, ce qui me fait... Yes, 37,000 Bitcoin since last week. And yeah, usually, or at least Bitfinex have been running the show for a long time. I thought it was less efficient, but maybe they're back at defending. I believe they are the bulls on our side. No, I think there was less efficient because there was selling on all this rise. Showing here on the 4 higher time frame. If you see on the lower time frame, there was selling. So I was kind of surprised that the price kept going up. At the same time, that's what they do. Unlike guys like I don't know his name, Duwon, that just say, hey, I'm buying all your Bitcoin right now at this price, I don't care, and could have succeeded. Maybe Bitcoin could have go for a run here. I think he bought everything during that rise, or at least during that period, most of it. And so making a big bet publicly with a size trade, you're looking to get hunt. And it was made just reckless, with no precaution. You don't really had an exit plan. I think it was even really loud and pretentious about it. So you got hunt. While what I've been looking at Bitfinex is they sell during rise and they buy during dips. When you're a small trader, you want to sell the top and buy the bottom. That's what you want to do, not necessarily what you should do. But when you trade with size, so multi-million, multi-billion of dollars, you want to slowly sell during rise and slowly buy during correction. So it doesn't mean the low is totally in, but really it could be, because there's really like a big rim here. There was like 15k buy in this hour here. It's pure buy. And the buy from every exchanges when this happens, because there is arbitrage opportunity. So everything that is being sold on other exchanges is being automatically buy by the arbitrator, market makers, liquidity provider, as they can sold them on Bitfinex for a huge premium immediately, instantly. Yeah, because it was like 50k, 100k maybe bought during this time. We'll see, maybe it will like take profit really quickly, rise. So that should be a dangerous sign if it does. Just like we saw here. Let's see, just closing the long position as it rise. So yeah, that was the data, the really bullish data for me. Is this one. Knowing that I have been planning for for this drop for quite a long time. I mean, I was unsure about taking this low. Remember when we were into this downtrend, I just didn't know. I know it was a possibility. Now when we got this consolidation, you know, I've been reluctant in looking for a bullish count. I ended by doing one at the end because I say, okay, now got a bit too much invalidation, a bit trappy at the end. But I've been looking to take that low for weeks. Yeah, just doing what I've been planning for. And I'm seeing the data that I want to see here. Now I need to see a bit more accumulation from the wallets, big wallets. At the same time, I'm not so much sure about looking at the on-chain data. Now, you know, it's different than what it has been. I think it's still relevant. Well, you see there is accumulation here. Large wallet inflow, so 1k, 10k. They've been selling up here. Been selling a bit here. It's buying here. Now they're buying. We have okay, I think I made a picture that would be quicker. Yeah, that one. So realized price by address. So that's the average buy price, if you want to quote, because it's the price of Bitcoin when the Bitcoin are filling the wallet, are being sent to the wallet. So here you see the 1,000, 10,000 Bitcoin, the line in the middle. So that's what we can call the average price at which the Bitcoin have been acquired. So that's where we know these big wallets will defend the price and need to defend the price. And lower is the smaller wallets, well, smaller, 10 to 100 BTC. And supposedly wealth, I don't know exactly what it is. We are below the price right now, so there is big capitulation. We know there is capitulation, right? They've been selling from also big traders, and they've been selling on Coinbase, for example. There have been big traders also selling their USDT in the fear of what happened with UST. And some that are like hedge funds and stuff, because they just don't know very much about crypto. They see they are a stablecoin that just go to zero, and they say, okay, I have a ton of stablecoin, the stuff called Tether, you can do the same, I'm gonna sell it. And that's why we saw also such a price difference between Bitcoin price on USDT pair a bit, because when we got a 1,000, 7,000 premium, it just means that the Tether crew is on the same side that Bitfinex was, because Bitfinex and Tether is a bit the same, got the same parent company. I've been accused of manipulation. I don't want to go too much on this, but yeah, and that's why also we saw depeg, unpeg of USDT with USD, just because of fear. It happens sometimes, just also because there's stupid people that made derivative contract for stablecoin. You can long and short USDT against USD on FTX, for example. I don't really understand what the goal of that. I mean, I guess the goal is to keep the peg, but to by liquidity. Yeah, that's why we went to 94 cents, which is still a yeah, a significant drop of 5%. Also, we don't know for sure. So there was a lot of volume, we can see. A lot. What a lot of tether redeemed, I think. I don't know if it's shown the market cap. Where I find this? Yeah. No, that's you. No, it's normal. The supply I wanted to see. That's market cap. No, the supply is so unstable. So yeah, we have this. How much I've been live? 1 hour 35. Oh, this is this. I didn't go over Wyckoff. Should I go over Wyckoff or stock markets? When I say Wyckoff, I mean the Wyckoff view of Bitcoin, stock market, or even altcoins. What should I do? Tell me. Yeah, even Bitfinex owner Paolo is talking about Bitfinex long. Yeah, yeah, he tweeted that. Probably in my likes. Probably nothing. And you know, usually you listen to what he says when he warns you that it's winter and there's some bears around on May 3rd. Good thing you do to listen that this could go down. The same way I did the same thing months ago. When was it? Anyway, I'm not gonna cover everything. When you talk about risk management, sometimes remember once he was just sharing a picture of risk management on a toboggan. Does that say in English? Toboggan. Slide. Toboggan. And that was the top. So here, when he's talking about the long and showing a gif of a bull, I'm more confident than anything else. Where is my chart again? Sounds fishy to you. Maybe. Not to me. Long Paulo tweet and take it to all-time high, a bit too easy. Yeah, it's not necessarily have to copy everything they do, but I mean, yeah, it's just reading facts, numbers, and you know they could fade. They could be attempting to save Bitcoin market, and it could be bigger sellers that just keep on selling and liquidate them or make them too much in the water. And it could be fine. It could be several big guys wanting the death of Bitcoin and have billions of dollars for doing it. And they could do it, and they could crash it below 3K. Everything possible. Risk management is key. Okay, see you, Oli. Thanks to you. Be here. So yes, let's talk about Wyckoff. Wyckoff. So right now we have a potential for maybe a range building here. That's what I will be looking at. Anyway, either distributional or accumulation should act a bit similar at the beginning. So I consider this as a preliminary support because it is a consolidation with significant volume. That's where I need to drink a bit. So that's where the smart money start to slow down the downtrend, and that's why we see significant volume. Preliminary support. Then we got our highest volume during our silent climax. So we got this weird up and down with the highest volume, but overall highest volume is in this wave. So for me, it's thin climax. Automatic correction is a squeeze of late sellers, especially with Wyckoff. We can see how this capitulation rise and open. That's meaning that there are a lot of people market shorting the bottom because they are too much down on the Bitcoin and they need an edge, and yet it rise and it just squeeze all the late shorts, or they closed it with big negative premium. There's big sales coming. There is a smiley here, I don't know why. So automatic correction is supposed to be this. Then we got the secondary test. Secondary test that retests the selling climax, either has a higher low or lower low. And we'll see if we have a range developing like this. And maybe, you know, this is our wave 3 finishing, wave 5. I mean, sometimes I feel like maybe I'm flipping a bit too much this shot from another. But yeah, maybe we're looking for this fifth, bigger wave 3. So making a secondary test, and then we're going for the bigger wave 4, and then we're going for the other 5. Secondary test in phase B, and another wave 4, and then another final wave 5 with a spring. That's a bit how you want to link your Wyckoff with Elliott wave. At the end of the day, all that to say that you can that usually there is time before single reverse. It's really rare you get a V-shaped reversal. It happened, but it's really rare. Usually you get a bit of range before the reversal. So there's no rush, and all you need is just not to feel the FOMO when it reaches the high again, even if it takes the high and change the market structure, and not be the guy that long here or buy here because you say, oh fuck, I was stopped out for, I've been trapped, now I need to go back in and sell when you get the low, because all of this is just an automatic reaction and a secondary test, and the big guy, that's what they do. Take profit on the automatic correction and buy back on the secondary test. And depending of how much stupid money there is, that's what does, if it's that's what make it either high low or low low or deeper low. And if I zoom out a bit, I had this this Wyckoff ID. Let me check. Yeah, there's still people losing a bit of spectators. That's okay. You know that what I've been talking for quite a bit, and we're building that range. The potential for a spring as a fifth wave. And now the spring can be two things. can be two things. A spring can develop several ways. Spring can be a V-shaped reversal. It can, in fact, when we got a V-shaped reversal, it's usually a spring. On a smaller range, it is your final swing follow pattern. But a spring can also be a range of its own. Where is my channel here? So here, if we have our preliminary support that define preliminary support, the automatic reaction is what defines the range, but usually it treats as a preliminary support. So if you build a range like this, can we have? Come on. Anyway, yeah, for a few days, even a few weeks, depend. It can still be considered a spring. That's where I'm be doubtful. Overall, it is a deviation. All depend if we are consolidating without making too much lower lows. I mean, well, you could go to 20k still in the spring. Yeah, I would still consider this like the final test of this range. All of that to say, it can do both. It can recover strongly, or it can finish in a slow downtrend, slowing down, and then recover. So this is a standard level. Now, if I zoom out again, daily. Well, we have the value at low. Do you see how usually we get descending range when we are in accumulation? Here we have accumulation, a markup, distribution in an ascending range, markdown, accumulation in a descending range, make lower lows, a markup, a bit of distribution, but reaccumulation into the middle. It's already quite distribution of the position from here in the middle, but there is enough strength to push it back up, or not enough liquidity to build to sell more and short more, and you go into this pretty quick range here, more horizontal, but you're doing still high, and the distribution really starts here, and either prematurely there is taking profit here, and probably short position being built already in this beginning of the range. Then a markdown, take profit but redistribution, and going here. So now, if this is distribution, that might mean, if this is redistribution, then yeah, that might mean we have a longer range coming, really true accumulation before going into a markup again. But if we see this just as I show you before, and more of a, it's debatable. I mean, there is accumulation. We know because of data there is a bit of accumulation here already from big players. So I would prefer to consider this as overall more accumulation, but with so much demand here with the duo and the FOMO, and they've been able to make a lower deviation to go in the final stage of this. What do you think of December 2020 to May 2022 range as a big distribution? December. So the thing is also we are having recapitulation level. So no, that's people could see this bearish. We have a breakdown with volume. We are losing a long consolidation. It could be seen as distribution. That's why I'm saying it's not impossible. It's just I'm seeing what Bitfinex is doing. I'm seeing my account. I'm seeing what I'm looking at. I'm seeing the fear. So I'm not stressed out about this. 2000. You said December 2020. It's like here to May 2022. Maybe you talked about 21. Or 20. Oh yeah, 2020. December 2020 is here. All of this could be distribution, yes. Yes, and I mean, it's easy to label in that case. You got your preliminary supply. Buying climax. Automatic reaction. Secondary test. But that will be bad. That would be bad in the sense that 9K could be a first target, but that would take years to recover such big distribution. For me, it would mean that we have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on a macro 5 that is finished with a really short one. And that we are fucked. And that Tether is gonna collapse tomorrow, or gonna get burst. For whatever reason. I'm not saying it's impossible. We have overall increase in volume here on the downtrend. We have overall decrease of volume into uptrend. I'm doubtful because just because we are seeing in this range who has been buying and building stuff around crypto during this time. And we got Tesla from the richest man on earth, or maybe not the most liked one, or maybe they want his head. But apart from Tesla, there's like all the big money industries. There is BlackRock, there is Fidelity, there is Goldman Sachs, there is so on that are building product and opening Bitcoin trading, and there is Bitcoin ETF now, even if it's only derivative, but you can trade Bitcoin on Nasdaq and everywhere. Almost every bank are proposing Bitcoins now. So they're all doing this to just distribute and kill the thing. And who is distributing then? If the big money is entering here, I mean the historical big money mafia, whatever. I mean, they've been buying before, but what? The historic Bitcoin whales are gonna kill Bitcoin here. They're the ones that are holding the most, and they're trading on Bitfinex and making us trapped by showing us their bids, while in fact they've been just distributing and they are making trying to trick us in thinking they're buying now to sell us more. I mean, maybe I just am not buying that, but I can be wrong. Hey, Delirium! I still have to start from the beginning when I put my son to sleep. It will be all family first. Take care of you. So think of this entire range as distribution which has accumulation within it, etc. Yes. Settings on Discord channel and public channel. Public chat. Yes. Yeah, the idea is this, yeah. And definitely this will be a LPSY. I would consider this as a secondary test because the secondary test retests the buying climax, which in itself. See, but there is low volume on the buying climax. That's yeah. Anyway, yeah, we saw it. It defies the traditional Wyckoff rules, as we saw distribution here into the downtrend instead of into the tops. Same way we have a lower degree LPSY here, secondary test, buying climax, secondary test, UTAD, show weakness, change the market structure, and LPSY retest of broken trend. So be the same here. We're just retesting the buying climax area, which is for me the secondary test. If that was to be distribution. And I'm not so sure it makes sense to make labeling like this again. Still. I'm more saying yes, staged phase. We have accumulation going into distribution, going into accumulation, going into distribution, going into accumulation again. As they want to accumulate more, they just. How do you find liquidity when you want to buy? When you find liquidity into pushing price down, into making the thing bearish, into making people want to sell. That's what we are doing. Here we had a upsloping range, which was weird for reaccumulation. All that because, in fact, it's going into a lower range of reaccumulation, which maybe we will do again, a bit of a range like this. That's what I would like to see. Maybe it will not be so obvious. And maybe next week we saw this as continuation, and in that case, I take back this chart and I say, okay, that was the final test, and now we are going to an uptrend, so we still have an opportunity to retest the spring into the wave 2, as if that was a low, then we are going. The first rise will be a wave 1, and we're going for a wave 2 to buy, which will be the retest of the secondary of the spring, and then we find our level depending of all the close, the volume and the volume profile on the rise, etc. We do see already how we are getting Nice rejection right now. So I think there's chances we continue consolidation into the downtrend. That's what I would like to see. So through ST was always lower than BC, but yes, yeah, no, it doesn't have to. It's retesting the area. It retests. Yeah, it retests. There is more supply or demand again. How much there is left of demand and supply? I think I had a nice one here. Alright, secondary test backup. It's more range. So yeah, that's what I would. Thing is, could see this as a secondary test in phase B, which means we still have a phase C to come, but unless this is really just a secondary test in phase B and we have a slow rise and we are still in the phase C. It doesn't have to be a nice Wyckoff shape here. The event is significant here. Can be secondary test in phase B, and the phase C can be just a retest of the range after the rise. I guess if BTC is cheaper, more people will buy also. Yes and no. Yes and no. Of course, there is people that are well-minded and buy when it's cheap and buy now. In fact, you will see there is people buying here. But I've been waiting for this. In fact, or there is people that are just buying all the time, a little bit, and are really happy when it's getting cheaper because it means they can buy more at a time. But most of the people that are trading or trying to trade are looking at the chart and looking on Twitter and seeing on the madness, and if next week Powell or I don't know who say we're gonna go down on stable coin and I don't know, whatever news, and the chat look bearish and the price action start to go down on the 5-minute chat, they get crazy fearful. And I mean, it's also debatable how it is a relevant precise indicator, but yeah, we are into extreme fear. People are fearful, people are selling, and you know, if you got your portfolio diversified with other crypto altcoins, you see your overall portfolio going down, way down, and you see Bitcoin breaking key support, key level, and you get fearful. So you said 50 EMA on monthly. Yeah, it's a good one. That's a EMA, right? Oh no, that's a semi. That's a contrary I want to do. I don't know how to change this plot into the name of what it is. Monthly. You say it. Where is the 50 monthly right now? That's where we are. That's where we are. That's where you buy. 50 monthly. 200 weekly. That's where you buy overall. But buying here on spot is easy. How much retail buy just spot and old spot? when Bitcoin is multiple $10,000, and when we know most of the trading is happening on, maybe not, it has been dying on derivative now, but I know people tried to get position on longs, but you on longs and leverage above their net worth, which is where it's dangerous. Longs should be just long and short. And I mean, using margin to multiple your net worth is, and to trade more than your worth is, it's very dangerous and can be okay on low time frame, but on high time frame it's complicated. And you still here in a range of 30%. So it's just impossible to position on a margin. Yeah. On a swing, I mean, if you don't manage to catch very low. Yeah. So I guess yeah, we got still 21 here. 21k, and weekly is 21,800. And I said on this, on this one, do I have the anchor VWAP? No, it was on the other one. Yeah, we have the average spot price from COVID low. And from the bottom of 2018, we are getting close to it. It's also a bit less than 23k. We'll see how this develops. I guess we're getting close to an end here. We have 2 hours in, and just checking how much we're still here. So quick overview on stocks. And maybe we try to see if there's a trade I can give after. I'm not sure I'll be able to give a good risk reward ready trade, but anyway, stock. There is, so okay, the idea is that we are looking for a final 5 wave as well on stock. I'm not just the only one to say this. I mean, Robert Preacher, head of Elliott Wave International, is looking at something similar. We know we haven't a lot of confidence to say this. This is a lot of the wave 5 is always where there's the most FOMO, where there's the most crazy stuff happening. How much new money have been printed since 2009, since the subprime crash. Just look at the M2 or M1 supply. Maybe we can compare it, by the way. It is one supply. I'm pretty sure I had it. Let's find it. 1, 2. M2 USD. File. Yeah. Okay, if I M1. Okay, didn't find it. money stock. That's how it's called it. Need on another neural scale. So can I get this on log still? And this on log as well? You see how it just follow the money supply. And this is M2, it's not even M1. I've been going crazy, especially on the fifth wave of the macro fee wave, and especially on the fifth of the fifth, which is since the COVID crash, and that's where we are seeing the most high stuff. Yeah, so that's what we are looking at, and maybe, just maybe, we have still a fifth to finish here locally. I'm not sure about it, but I could see a 1, 2, 3, 4 is here, and a fifth still to get these targets. And I mean, if stock cannot recover from this, it could start to get quite ugly, and that's what could bring Bitcoin way lower. I have a sound of a plane here. It's weird. Playlist, okay. So yeah, we reached 1 extension on log. I don't know, this is linear. Okay, yeah, whatever. Linear is normal. Log, there's not much difference. There is not as much difference as Bitcoin. So we could have an ABC here. ABC finished, potentially 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's see how it could be. Divergence could come a bit lower, but yeah. We have the potential for a finished ABC, which could help Bitcoin to finish with macro fifth as well, because we know it has been linked to American stock market for quite a while. How could it go for after Nasdaq? Every stock market are pretty much the same. Every stock market, I mean American, Nasdaq, Dow Jones, we are the 1 extension for potential ABC move. So potential corrective move. 1, 2, 1, 2. Nasdaq seems to be 1, 2. Let's come back on this and just pull the fib here. 50% we are reaching. Nice wave 4. 50% of wave of proposed wave 3, and overall 26%. 382. So we are on good target for wave 4. So Dow Jones, etc. Same. Gold. Well, I'm not so sure about gold, or I believe it should be. It's still in correction, consolidation. I see either an ABC or a WX, and we're finishing a Y, saying that we didn't made a higher low. I would like to see, I mean, we didn't made a higher high. I would like to see a lower low, just like the 1 here. That would be really nice. Sweep the low, make a swing for a pattern, and then rise. with the potential for something more strong, but if the market is going okay, I don't see why it will go to 150. So yes, 1600 seems 67, 1700, 1700 for gold seem reachable. So probably an ABC if we do like this. It seems that we might be in 1, 2, 3. Knowing that for now it looked like an ABC as well. I hardly see how this could be impulsive then. Maybe a leading diagonal. Because if this is just an ABC, or if we are going for a Y, maybe we go an ABC, so a W, X, and a Y. Knowing that we reach the 0.618, so it could be enough for a correction. I'm not really a specialist on how Elliott wave act on stock. I'm just doing a bit, but I know better of Bitcoin. And we are at quite an important support, a monthly order block here. Do you know how to use a market profile when looking at Wyckoff to find distro accumulation? You mean volume profile? What? I'm not sure. I mean, I'll look at volume profile to see distribution accumulation. You'll see when you got more volume at the top than the bottom, it suggests distribution. And more at the bottom suggests accumulation. And when volume profile is evenly distributed like we see on Bitcoin. I mean on exo chart. Not really, I'm not, no, I mean, exo chart for me, it's more use of day trading. So, yeah, you look at distribution and accumulation. We could link this to Wyckoff because it's intraday distribution and accumulation. Just look at how is the open interest, of course, in the long and aggressive long and shorts. Sometime I do, Wyckoff in 5 minutes, but I will try to do more. And then, exo chart can be used for that. I know certain people can find Wyckoff just looking at exo charts, etc. Okay. If it's on higher time frame, the TPO can be useful. Hello, Tom. Coming at the end if you're just going, but hi. We'll be able to see the replay. I wanted to go over, the last one is DXY. Quite important for us. I'm kind of reading that we have a wave 1 here. I have a nice target for wave 3 here and 4. Now wave 5 is starting to get really extended here. Going up past the target I'm looking for, as we are going through the 0.618. So we'll see if we come back below this. That's what I would like to see. That will allow stock to, I mean, it's not allow, but if stock are going to rise and Bitcoin as well, we need as well DXY to finish something and go into a corrective move. So maybe while DXY go into a corrective potentially for 1-2. That's why stock and Bitcoin could finish their fifth wave. And then it will go for a strong wave 3, so it would mean less for others. So we'll see. It's still looking like, yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You see, so still okay in my opinion. And the target was pretty good overall here, right? Otherwise, that means that we have a 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. It's going harder, higher. That would mean a crash for the rest. Home builders are not looking really good. Anyway, that was a quick overlook on stock. Altcoin, was there something? I mean, Monero is interesting. It didn't make the lower low. It's making a higher low, and we have potentially a 1, 2. VChain was deceiving. As well. FTT is a bit stronger. Altcoins that are looking stronger as exchange one, so FTT and Binance. Zero is not doing exactly what I would like it to do. Something I'm looking at, like an ABC, but potentially was still no FB here. Because I cannot count this move as corrective. It looked too much. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Or maybe at the same time the purists will say a flat should start with an ABC, not 5s, but here I can see ABC down, maybe I'm finishing a B. 420 is where I would like to accumulate a bit of 0 or below. Crypto.com waiting for a monthly level potentially at 11 cents. Not bad. We'll see. And let's go take a look at 5-minute chart of Bitcoin to see if we can set something. Should have been taken a shot. This right on a daily, quite a perfect retest. Now we have thing is, I don't have a clear. I don't have any clear Elliott wave count on this. We still have pretty much low volume on this rise. It's not very much leading diagonal. We do have. We didn't reach 1-1 extension at all here. I'm not reading things clearly on this rise, so I refrain from trading too much. I mean, the easiest thing is just to go long here on every pullback. You can, yeah, claiming the 9. That's already rejection from 100, 200. So that was a credible short. Ouais, mais I'm really. I would be more comfortable to take along, you know, on the sweep of the low. Where is here? And just look more at a Wyckoff structure rather than a count here, because I'm not really able to count this. For now, it seems still corrective. Or a short on a swing fire pattern of the high. What is that? Deviations? No. What do I have this? Monthly VWAP coming here. I want to rejecting from weekly. Volume is still higher here than at the low. So obviously, yeah, on this I would just look for the range. Come on, just get the quick. Yeah. So of course, not just blindly longing below the low, but the best is to be able to count 5 waves when it comes down, because I don't know if this is the top already or now. But let's say it is the top, then I want to be able to count 5 waves, and then by swing for a pattern with my invalidation, I'd come below the low, obviously. Come on, can you? Or a secondary test in phase B, or a secondary test, not phase B, just secondary test and a short position out of the high. I think we have a chance of building a range here pretty nicely. There is also this 50, could be an interesting level, at least for a quick scalp. If I take my volume profile here, I have a POC up here. We'll have a daily level that it didn't mark, I'm sure of it. No, it's really high at daily level. Daily 12-hour. Four hour we have 4 hour of the block here. and on a 4-hour level here. Okay. We are entering value area. Okay, it's getting complicated to talk. Yeah, I've been live for 2 hours 30 minutes. This is quite a long stream. And you're still here watching me, listening to me? Oh, not so much. So it can, I don't know. So what about 31,400? And Luke was talking about today video. It's not valid for today's short. 41,400. POC here, yes. Yes. But it has been a bit front run here. So if we were to get again a swing failure pattern of this high, then a retest of POC is, yeah, that could be still a good short, of course, intraday short. I'm more looking for long than shorts because I'm bullish. Because I'm becoming bullish. As we are in a range, I'm really, yeah, and I'm still looking for potentially a few lower low. I'm okay with looking for short, but I want to be prudent with it. That could have been when you see POCs here, in fact, higher POC of this range, but this was it. And this could come way lower, you know. You want to... Come on, it's... That's what I want. Value are high. So there is an interesting cluster here if we have to continue up. I'm just not seeing what structure it would be in terms of Elliott wave, apart from a 1-2-1-2. Even here we have a third that is the smallest one, so there's something that doesn't line up here. I mean, it can be a 1-2 maybe. Some kind of flat somewhere. A 1-2. Yeah, 1-2, 1-2, 1-2. Then we can take our 7-8-6. So surely for a day trade, I mean, I could definitely take a... Come on! Stop moving, you. That's not what I want. You could have a bit of a trade like this, probably tighter, based on order flow. It's okay. But 7A, yeah, here we got a bit of confidence for a nice little trade. That will probably give a reaction. 786 POC or the block, or if it doesn't find support on the golden pocket, because it is the top of the auto block also, and we're at the 161.8 right now. We'll probably go in wave 3, could be finding wave 5 coming right into the golden pocket, where we have daily level. It could be a quick trade to be taken, potentially targeting high, even back. But I'm talking bigger trades, knowing that this, depending which one come first, the target will be, well, there will always be a target at a confluence of a POC, wherever it become, and confluence of POC and golden pocket could be if we have a move that was to, what is happening right now? A move that were to go and to finish higher, yeah, then we'll have a take profit on the side, but keeping for a potential fifth. But yeah, there is many level, or there's many level to be traded with quick take profit. You know, take profit, you put your stop in. And you take profit at each level. Tinder XXY. How do I... Okay, thanks. Still here, but want to watch the start. Okay, see you later. Also, it can be back to the range from open daily, 80, 20% strategy, but 30-minute candle still not closing below. Previous day value high. And open daily, where is the daily open? Uh, 29 here. Yeah, it's where it is. Yeah, we have confluence potentially yet try to for a bounce. But will not have much small trade like this to give for now. We're coming into the weekend, so that's where we got also lower liquidity. How long do I think we will stay in this lower range? I don't know. I don't know. What I can say, it's just based on what's possible. That we change we break our structure So if we are building a range here, we can compare it to the previous one that have been. So a quick one here was 30-day. A longer one here was about 130 days. Small one, 30 days. So I guess it's sensible to look for a month or more, month or two here, knowing that I suggest a range on this chart, but it's still early a bit. I mean, range will establish more or less. It can come lower ways, or potential target being 20k. So maybe it's a bit early to build the range. Maybe this is not really the selling climax yet. I know I have a potential target for a fifth that comes just below. That's why I want to start to build a range here. And I have confidence with the target for the wave 3. But wave 5 and wave 3 can extend more. So yeah, that's a bit what I will be looking at for now. And yeah, we'll see what we have next, how a price action show itself the way. At least we are seeing some strengths on this bounce. Most strengths we saw since a long time ago. Since at least this. Shiva. S&P seems to have locally bottomed with ending W wave and leading toward wave X to around 4,002. I don't know. I'm gonna shift to S&P again. Well, I say we have reached target overall. I'm not really doing any technical analysis on lower time frame. 420. 4,200. Yeah, I'm getting tired right now. I mean, yes, overall, I say we could have finished, or I'm reading an ABC, not a WXY, but for me, I reading potentially a finished, or about to be finished correction and looking for the fifth. All I can say now, we have indeed seeing strength as well. Will it reverse right away? I don't know. 42, but you say 42 to go to too much 350, then that's quite a lot. And yeah, if it's continue much, maybe it could work. Yeah, there's probably a valid candle with it. I'm seeing that overall we reached the 1-1 extension, so it's enough for me, and I can read 5 waves on a daily time frame, so that's enough to me. But can it go lower? Yes, it can. Anyway, I guess that's the end. My viewer count is going to 0, and my energy as well. And I've been up for more than 2 hours, 45 minutes. That's a bit too much already. But thanks for watching, the one that is still here. Thanks for the likes that have been given. I hope it was an interesting stream. Thanks for the nice comment, and thanks for the participation to everybody, even if I guess a lot are not here anymore. Well, you have other things to do. I truly appreciate you all. Merci beaucoup, comme on dit. Yeah, Jean-Charles, I think I'm gonna for a beer. But yeah. Thanks again, everybody. Have a nice weekend. Trade safe. Don't forget, the only thing you control in the market is how much you lose. The risk management is key. Thanks, everybody. Have a good weekend.